So today I am working on a gold pendant for a customer who sent me their moldavite stone. This is the piece of moldavite they sent. It was wrapped in some pretty thin copper wire before I took it out of this frame, and I'm creating a new frame for it. And I just thought I would share what that looks like behind the scenes. I sketched out this drawing of how it's gonna look, and now I'm just creating the frame with this 14 karat gold wire using the sketch that I created. I actually just like to kind of trace the design with my wire holding it in place. It works best for me. Everybody has a different technique style. I like to do it this way. And just adjust the paper to get like the best angles necessary. And you can even use your fingernail. Thank you, Irie Living, for the love, for the comment, for tuning in. I always have like 12 things going on at one time, so when I get the thought to record something, I try to listen to that. I do plan on creating a more stable interface, like platform for jewelry making. I want to perhaps use Patreon for people who are really serious about learning, so that we can have a community space. I was also thinking about using Vimeo, because I know you can sell videos there. I already sell videos on my website. I just don't like the way that I have to do it, because my website builder is not like just super easy for me to navigate through. But I know a platform like Patreon, which is probably similar to YouTube, or even Vimeo, would be a lot easier for me to navigate with video content, and it would be easier for the consumer to navigate too. So this year I want to get that popping, start using one of those platforms to create a community for jewelry making, learning different learning techniques, and transfer the lessons that I already have to one of those platforms. So as you can see, it's really a matter of just holding the main wire down in place and using these flat nose pliers like as your second hand in a way. That's all I do. Cool, so now I have this frame that this will go in. Pretty nice. Okay, well, we're gonna get you learning, Irie Living. Like, hey, now is always the best time. It's funny because I have someone here in where I live. I live in St. Louis, who wants to learn. So I'll be setting up one-on-one in-person lessons with them for probably getting started like this weekend. So it's definitely a good time to start teaching and getting everything in place. So once I get to a piece like this, some people like to solder their frames. I don't really like to solder when I don't have to. So in a situation like this, I would use a thinner gauge wire to connect this piece to this piece. And I gotta find my 24 gauge gold wire. This is 20 gauge. Locate my 24 gauge. So this one's brass. I'm not going to use the brass, but this is what brass looks like. Brass looks very similar to gold. This one's red brass, but that's not it. That's 30 gauge. I need to get this is my 14 karat 20 gauge gold, 30 gauge gold fill wire. So yeah, too thin. And this is also red brass, so where is the 24 gauge? This one's 16 gauge. Gauge. I might have to use 20 gauge because perhaps I didn't order 24 gauge. Gold is a lot more pricier than copper. And then silver is even more pricier. Yeah, I guess I don't have 24 gauge gold. So I'm gonna use this 20 gauge gold. When I'm working with gold, I like to, hola Andre, I like to keep my wire attached to the reel because you want to save as much as you can with gold and silver because they're more expensive than copper. So I just try to keep everything, just use exactly what I need. So I'm gonna start connecting the frame. The cool thing about the 20 gauge, it is pretty strong, so don't need to use much of it. Gold is expensive. So if you're wanting to create gold jewelry, most people are using gold filled wire, which is better than gold plated wire because it has a thicker layer of gold with a smaller like core layer of like brass in the inside. So over time, it's not gonna really wear the way gold plated jewelry could wear off. Okay, so I got that, it's all nice and firm now. I'm going to create like a bed for this stone to lay in. And you want to create it wherever. I pre-sketched this design out because they wanted a design similar to a piece that I've made before. So the piece that I made before, let me show you guys what that looked like. That they want this one to be designed similar to. So this is the piece that I made before that they want a similar design to. Now there's no promise that it will look exactly like this because each piece comes out uniquely, and even this piece of moldavite is a different shape than theirs, so there's really no way it could be exactly the same, but it'll be similar to it. So when you're making a frame and you're gonna have like certain designs like that start and maybe end somewhere, then you might want to create the bed lines like right here. And then one in the middle for that extra support. So I'll be creating like a line going from here to here and here. And since I have this extra leftover that I don't want to waste, I'm going to, well, actually, what I'll do is, I gotta make a decision what I'm gonna do with it. Well, yeah, I'll just use it for this piece, like this. I was gonna say I could cut this off and create a coil with this, but I'm gonna just use a different wire to do that with. So now I got that first line right there. And I'm just gonna do like a little spiral. I'm creating 2 gold pieces this week. My first gold pieces sold this year, even though I made them all last year. I made 3 gold pieces last year and nobody bought them until this year. And now I have 2 more requests, this one and another request this week. So it seems like the interest in gold is picking up, which is cool because it gives me a new metal to work with, a new feel. So if you can guess what I'm gonna do next, I'm going to connect this to there. Because one of my most important things about wrapping jewelry is security. When I started off, I still was like kind of just learning, so I was making stuff and I knew it needed to be secure, but I had a few people come back like, hey, my stone fell out or something. So I wanted to prevent that from there on out. So I'm always focused on security. Something like this not being secure could easily just be like moved out of place. So we always want to attach things to be firmly knit together. Or at least I do. That's what I focus on. I do need to order some 24 gauge though, because this 20 gauge could be used in a better way than just connecting one piece to another. Okay, so the next one, we're gonna switch to half round wire. Now, I'm like, I better have ordered that. Yeah, I got half round right here. This is half round, 14 karat gold filled wire, 16 gauge. You can estimate how much you need to use. by like kind of looking, or if you want to save the wire, just keep it attached to the frame. And I'll leave about that much. I know that much is going to wrap around here at least once or twice, or like 1.5, which is good enough for me because this wire is firm enough to hold with just one wrap. And then I'm just gonna need about like this much over here on this side. This creates a bed for the stone so that it stays in place. It doesn't fall through the frame. So you can see this bed being created. It's already good. We are gonna add one more down here because it's not only the bed, it's also gonna be the structure that your layering pieces start to connect to. This is all the background work, the background and the foundation of the piece. So again, just like a little piece like that big. I didn't even check if y'all could hear me, but I assume y'all can hear me. I don't have my mic or anything plugged in. I just did a nice little freestyle, quick and easy. Thank you, Irie Livin. Now, Irie Livin, have you started creating stuff already? Or like, do you have any tools? Like, what's your starting point? Where are you at right now in the journey? Is it just a desire, passion? Have you started actualizing it a little bit? Alrighty. So we got that done. Now is where we start creating. The thing about this gold, I wish I had more variety. If I did, like I have with the copper, which I need to just invest in it, then I could do more. But I'm kind of stuck with using certain things for... Like in this case, I would use this. In this case, I would prefer to have, you have the basic creations with copper wires. Okay, that's great. You started, you know, and now it's just time to continually grow. That's great. If you guys are here, like the video. But I would prefer to use 19 gauge instead of 18 gauge square wire for what I'm about to do. I really just wanted to create the frame because I want to record this process so I can make a reel so that the customer can see how their necklace was made. I didn't really plan on staying on this YouTube live past this point, but I will just make like a quick design to show y'all. I'm gonna make a weaving design that I like to use to go alongside the moldavite, and it's going to require about this much gold wire. So I'm going to cut it right here. And thank you to Andre. I know he be putting up my live on his YouTube. He shares that I'm live and stuff. So yeah, I appreciate that because we are live. So this is 30 gauge gold, and I'm just gonna wrap it around these two. I mean, there's 6 people here and there's only 4 likes, so help your girl out. All right. Honestly, you could have used 3. I could have used 3 because this is a little bit more thin than I would like it to be. Yeah, I'm gonna use 3 wires instead of 2 because I prefer to have more thickness on this side of the design. Okay, now we got 3 wires. These are 3 18 gauge square wire being wrapped around with the 30 gauge. Cool thing about wrapping with gold wire, you can feel that it's a little bit more stronger than copper. So when you're using these thinner gauges like 30 gauge, you don't have to worry about it breaking off as much as you would with the copper. Yeah, click the like button. Thank you. So this looks a lot better in my opinion than just having 2. Bless up, bless up. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. The goal, with these lessons 2025 and beyond is just like we really should be creating a community of creators in this field of arts, of this like wearable art, because it can create so much for us. Like we can create community through it, we can create jobs through it, outlet, therapeutic outlet, just so many opportunities that we can create through this art form. And honestly, any art form, but this is the one that I chose and the one that chose me. So I really do want to get serious about the teaching aspect of this. And in order to do that, I had to make sacrifices. And I had made a mistake, so I had to go back. Yeah, sacrifices and focus. Because to an extent, I'm doing this alone. And then to an extent, I'm not. Because I have, I do have people on my team. And I have more people joining the team. I'm going to have one of my biggest supporters in closer proximity, which is going to help a lot. And there's just going to be so much more opportunity that comes from this, and then we'll enter into different spaces with this thing. What was I watching? I was watching this documentary yesterday on a lady named Fatima Robinson. She's a choreographer, a dance choreographer who has choreographed like everybody's stuff. She choreographed Michael Jackson, Remember the Times. She's done Missy Elliott, Backstreet Boys, Fergie, Beyonce, just everybody. And she's so behind the scenes, and she's so true to her craft and hasn't compromised who she is. And she's been able to do really amazing things through it. So like, that's the goal, is just keeping this thing pure and allowing it to create opportunity for us to grow and expand. Thank you, you guys. All right, so let's see. It's not quite long enough yet. You could also use a drill gun with this by just putting it in the drill, powering it up, and it'll start moving on its own. But sometimes for stuff like this, it's so short that I just do it by hand. I'm usually having something playing in the background, and I'm also just finding more peace with the silence too. In my thoughts, because my mind has been super activated lately. All right, I think this will do it. Okay. Yep. Okay, so when I'm at this stage, I then begin to focus on bending. And I just use my thumb to push this side that way, and the inside to create like a little arch. And also keeping this wire in place. Yeah. So with this, even though you see it's like from here to here, you can make it a little longer because you're going to bend it backwards. It's going to be bent towards the frame so it can connect to this piece as well as that piece. And it'll be like it'll look like this if you were looking at it sideways. So this is the frame and this is the wire, and then it's going to bend and connect. Bend and connect, and it'll be like a little elevated open space if you look at it sideways. Since this wire is so thin, the 30 gauge, it could unravel more easier than the thicker wire. And when I have that situation, I like to secure it whichever way I can. Since I'm not really soldering anything, I will just I will open one of these strands up like this and just tuck it in. And you can usually just break it off and close it back. And then since the 30 gauge is so tiny and gentle, you want to, usually I'm using these, but these with these rinds inside, it can break my 30 gauge and disrupt the design. So you want to use the smooth flat nose pliers when you're bending. And I never invested in like the pliers that have the soft silicone coating to them or whatever. Those are even better because it won't leave any marks on your pieces. I don't really care that much because I'm just like, I'm an artist. It's not going to look like it came out of a factory. There might be signs that a human designed it. So like, I don't, but maybe one day I'll start using the other ones that have the protective coating. You can also use Scotch tape and wrap Scotch tape around your pliers, and that will create a nice soft like coating to it, but still have the firmness, and that will prevent scratches on your pieces as well. But there's also just a certain way you can hold it that prevents that. So I've created the little divot. All right. I have to diversify my types of wires. Would you recommend Rio Grande? Yes, yes, yes. I need to find a way to make I need to make Andre add a moderator. Okay, I got you as a moderator. Andre. Cool. Okay, so shoot, if y'all want me to keep going, I guess type a 1 in the chat and I'll keep it going. Otherwise, I wanted to record this process for the I have to open up my window. Get some fresh air. Well, we got 1-1. I'll go a little bit longer. So, and I'll probably just have to like take a little video clip from the live for that video, for the reel. But now I take this piece and I am going to insert it into the design so that it looks like this. Now we're beginning our layering process. And see, from the side it looked like this. So now it's starting to add a little depth of fill to it, which is what we want. So I'm gonna make this come out just a little bit more, because you want whatever you layer with to cover the frame up. Unless, it's up to you. That's what I want. I want to cover the frame up. And if I don't cover the frame up, I usually create a design out of it or whatever is exposed. So when you have this, you have these 3 pieces, you gotta find something to do with them. I like to take the furthest one and bend it this way towards the outer part of the frame and begin to wrap it around. It's cool that this is teaching me something in the moment. I usually will wrap it around both of these, but since I have this back one back here that can't really be seen from the front, I'm gonna create a divot like that. And then I'm going to only wrap this one around this back one so that it's never really seen from the front, which helps hide the design a little bit more, which I like a lot. And then I gotta position it like this. It's all about how you're holding it as well. You gotta learn how to hold your stuff a certain kind of way in place while you're moving stuff. Okay, so it's not all the way covering that up the way I want, so I just gotta adjust a little bit. So I'm gonna clip this off. Tuck that. Okay. So I'm gonna tuck these two, but sometimes you can just fold them and deal with them later. But the main objective is to connect your weaves to the frame in a way that's like very secure. If you're working with a cabochon, which is like a flat stone, then sometimes doing stuff like this, having this little design connected, can make it uneven the way it lays on the design. And you don't really want that. See, it's flat up here, but then this thing can make it not be flat anymore. But I figure since this moldavite, it's a raw stone, I'm gonna find a way around it. I can even move this line back to make it more like hollow, like this, like that, to where it comes out towards the back more and is not making it fall weird. Now it's like, it's better now. But I need this to come over, so. Yeah, and you know, it's always going to be a little bit different than what we see sketched, and we work with that. In the end, trust me, in the end, it has no other option but to come out nicely, because that's just the only option that I give it. It's like, you're either going to look good or you're going to look good in the end. Thank you. Working with extra large oval cabs. I mean, it doesn't matter which side you work with. Size, like, I planned on working with this is black tourmaline, and it's really big, but it's like, the bigger the frame that you're gonna create for something. Like I like pieces that have a little sharpness and roundness to them. It just gives me like cool, you know, ideas to flow with. Something like this. I had this frame. I didn't end up exactly liking this frame that much, but like something like this could easily fit in a frame like this, you know. I mean, this stone makes this frame look better. But it probably is like I had the wrong type of stone in it. I even have this. I don't know what I was doing with this one, but yeah. So in this next instance, like, I'm gonna find a way to get this to sit in here the way I want. I'm probably gonna have like a half round layering in between there, or coming in like yeah, this is gonna be fire. It's gonna be like something like kind of coming in on the design like this. That's gonna create like a really cute look to it, which will fill in the gaps. Since this is a raw stone, it's just bound to have like gaps. Yeah, I'm gonna have it placed in there like this. Yeah. And then just to even hold it in place like here, I could start doing certain designs that holds the stone. The quicker that, not the quicker, but like once you can get the stone held in a certain place that you want it in, it just simplifies how you can start creating designs to go around it. It lets you kind of know the energy of the piece. But next I would definitely like either put a coil going. This right here is going to be a coil. Right there. So I'll probably get a coil going. Like this. And then something up here will be able to hold that in place. The stone will no longer be moving around all freely. This is going to conclude this live because I went longer than I planned. I showed you guys how to connect a weaving pattern to the frame. If you want a private one-on-one lesson, there's an option for that on my website. Otherwise, I'm gonna be moving as quickly as I can. I'm working on a lot of things at once right now, getting custom orders done, online orders done. There's some stuff I need to do in my local community, and then I need to do like some there's so much, y'all. Yeah, I have a long list of things I need to get done. But yeah, oh, and then of course I want to get the online stuff going, so I'm gonna be working towards getting, let me show you guys something. I never released this piece. I don't know why, but this is a gold wrapped kyanite eye of Ra. Yeah, and I never released it. It's just been sitting with me on my desk. But yeah, so much stuff to get done at once, but I am making a priority of making video lessons and just choosing the right platform to do that on. And hopefully on that space, there could be like a section that's really low cost, like a subscriber's membership. But then I want something to where you could just buy videos, the specific videos you want. And then like maybe a deluxe package where you can get access to everything. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, for watching. Thank you so much, Andre. He got me together. I'm gonna save this video and I'll share it. I hope you guys share it as well, and I hope you enjoyed it.